got me thinking I was messed up, pushing me down instead of pulling me up. So tell me what I'm supposed to do just to be alright. Girl, you got me thinking I was messed up, yeah.
Good morning, afternoon. What is it? Evening? Who knows, right? Everyone who's watching, thank you for joining today. I'm James Hicks. Welcome to ITN Live. We got a good show going. I did the countdown really short because I wanted to go ahead and get straight into the conversation because the guy got behind the scenes. You saw him doing the countdown is an amazing, amazing individual. My guest today is John Pullum. John Pullum, you may know him from numerous television appearances. He was the TV host of the More Than Human series on the Discovery Channel. He's a pretty cool guy. He was the hypnosis mind control expert for Unsolved History, the psychic expert for the More Science of Magic game show, thrill rides. The list goes on and on with some incredibly impressive accolades. He's got a great IMDB page. We may pull that up as well. By profession, John is a motivational speaker. That he keeps entertainment at the focus of all of his sessions. When he's in front of executives, when he's in front of teams, he continues to motivate and entertain and make sure everyone's enjoying the sessions. By passion, he's a mentalist. We'll talk a little bit about what that is, what that means, and hopefully get an opportunity for him to demonstrate some of his tools, methodologies, and things of that today. Without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, John Pullum.
Good day, everybody. Thanks so much, James, for having me on. It is an honor. I met you and I heard of you, I think the first time was through Melanie Diane Howe, who is watching right now. And I'm going to be on, if you look up Melanie Diane, I'll be on her show tomorrow as well. Just, you're one of my favorite people. Mel is one of my favorite people. And I was so happy when you asked me to be on your show.
No worries, brother. Shouts out to MDH in the building. We see you there. Appreciate you for showing up. Appreciate the entire DIY team. But Mr. Pullum, look, you, sir, have a very eclectic history, and I want to get into it. We were talking last week about some of the things that you have done, some of the things that you are doing. You've already leveled up already, right? You come on the show and you've got sound effects. You've got you've got the great vocal going. So you're not a you've been around the camera before. You know how to engage and how to interact. Let's start with some of that history that you have from a entertainment perspective, right? Because you were telling me that you've been doing this for a while, entertaining neighbors, entertaining customers, organizations, and things of that nature. Give us a little bit of that background about who John Pullum has started out as.
I should have brought up the one picture that I have on my Facebook fan page. I have been entertaining since I was a young child. I was always into like magic and puppets and just making people laugh. And I would do shows out of my bedroom window when I was like 6 or 7 years old, starting just magic shows and tricks and whatever. And some of the kids were younger than me. Some were my age. Some were even older neighborhood kids. There would always be a knock at the window wanting to know when the next show was. And there were many, many, many shows. And I just loved, looking now, the older I get, I realize how much of an introvert I am and living in an extrovert career.
Yeah.
But even back then as a child, I would be the one on the inside making the people on the outside happy. And I was happiest being in my room and watching the other people have fun and helping the other people have fun and laugh. And when I was not even old enough to drive, 12 or 13 or 14 or so, in the town that I live in, there was the VCR Club. It was a Video Club of Redford, VCR, Video Club of Redford. And they had a whole production studio that the township bought, and the residents could use it if you joined their club and what have you. And so I was in front of and behind the camera before I could even drive a car. So I went from the entertainment, doing magic shows and things, to learning about video. And then when I was 16, don't hold it against me, I took a clown class and I became a professional clown. So I was able to do magic shows for corporate picnics and things for kids. But since I had that costume on,
Yeah.
they didn't know I was a kid. And also, since I had that costume on, the stage fright and stuff wasn't really a factor,
Interesting.
because I had a costume on like you would at a costume party. And then I
Right.
went to broadcast school, Specs Howard School of Broadcast Arts, after I graduated. And I worked at a hospital until I was from 16 to 23 to, to pay the bills. And then I said, I want to do entertainment full time. I wasn't married yet. My boss had let me off for a tour of Japan to do shows over in Japan for a 2-month educational leave. He was so cool.
Yeah.
2-month educational leave. And then when I came back, I had other opportunities. And I'm like, my vacation time's up. If I'm going to follow my dreams and test out the waters on my dreams, the time is now. So I quit my job. And then all the Discovery Channel stuff started happening soon after. Yeah, so it's been... And as the economy changed, I went more into motivational entertainment. So it was my show mixed with motivation, because the
Right.
corporations wanted a takeaway. So that's summed up there in
Yeah.
5 minutes.
So talk to us a little bit about that delineation, right? Motivational speaker versus motivational entertainment, because I know another individual who really emphasizes that motivational entertainment aspect, right? And again, I try to do it some justice in the intro of saying, again, you keep the entertainment, you keep the folks in the audience and in the room engaged with the conversation and with the content being shared. But tell me your thoughts on why you want to make that delineation between just motivational speaker versus motivational entertainer.
I've always, since I was young, like I mentioned, been an entertainer. I loved making people laugh and smile and entertain them. My goal was to make my parents laugh until they cried. There were times on family trips that they'd have to pull over because they couldn't see, because they were crying so much from laughing. They'd have to that was like my goal, was to get them to pull the car over and just try to stop laughing and focus so they could drive again. So as the economy started to change, just like everything in my life, I thought, okay, when I was a clown, I was doing a magic show,
Mm-hmm.
because I was younger, and the clown character and everything helped me. I thought it would be fun anyways to be a clown. I found out the magicians were making more money, like double or triple what I was making for the same exact birthday party show, and they just had to wear a suit, no makeup and all that stuff. So it didn't take me long to say, okay, I'm going to put the clown garb away, although I still have a clown nose very, very close. I'm going to put the clown garb away and then go into magic full time.
This man keeps a
This is why you can
red
just
clown
you go through the
nose
drive-through,
at his desk.
Yeah. I shouldn't, but I do. So I stopped the clowning, went into magic, doing the same show, making more money. Then I started doing stage hypnosis shows and what have you. But as the economy changed, I was always still a magician, mentalist, comedian, entertainer. But the companies were saying, more than before, it was just like, look, make our people laugh, we'll hire you for whatever, the company banquet or whatever. But they wanted that takeaway. What's in it for me?
Mm.
Yeah. They don't realize that having happy employees and entertain employees and employees that feel like you appreciate them will make your sales team do better and everything else. But I was doing my mentalism show, which we'll get into in a little bit. And people were saying, coming up, top CEOs or doctors or whatever, and said, I was so motivated. I was so inspired by your words and everything. And it wasn't a motivational presentation, but with the mentalism, with the mind-to-mind contact and in psychology and all that stuff, they went away motivated. So I'm like, if I can motivate them just with my entertainment show, how is it going to be if I add some more motivational segments? So how I sell the show to corporations is your boss is going to be happy because your employees are motivated.
Right.
Your employees, your coworkers are going to be happy because they feel appreciated. And it's almost sneak up motivation. They're having fun as I'm putting these little motivational nuggets into the presentation. So if you were to watch it, you would have said, wow, that's a great show. I had so much fun. It's amazing what he did and amazing how he connected with the audience and everything else. But they go away motivated and entertained at the same time. There's so many other speakers that stand behind the podium and grab onto the podium and talk at the audience.
Right.
I'm throughout the whole audience. I'm walking around the audience and then back up on stage. I'm dealing with people. I toss a paper ball around and they, people catch the paper ball and I interact randomly. Nothing is prearranged, nothing is set up. So everybody feels in some way like they were, a part of the show, which is the way I want it. You can watch TED speakers and get motivated, but in my presentation, I break that wall and head out and interact with people. And so that's what I love to do.
So let me ask you this, because that's very physical. That's very engaging. That's very face-to-face, eye contact, things of that nature. The world stopped for about 15 months, literally. Not just Michigan, not just California,
everywhere, not
just Indiana. Shouts out to UMDH. But you stopped and you weren't able to go and have those face-to-face conversations. That had to be somewhat traumatic. I'm gonna use the word traumatic, right? Because again, you have to change, you have to completely pivot, you have to be different in your delivery to these sessions. How did that affect your go-to-market for your type of coaching and motivational entertainment?
The thing that's weird, and I've talked to people before, and it's like, oh, my business was dead or what, and it's on the whole realm of things with people dying from this or being other health issues that are going to be with them for life or losing their entire business, their brick and mortar business or whatever. I always feel weird saying, well, in my business, it was really slow as well. I had contracts out. I had other leads out that were getting ready to book and everything else. Lots and lots of money and speaking bookings that with my interactive show, I never thought I would have to do virtual shows. So I didn't have an interactive show. I have since done a magician friend of mine, Franz Harari, on the Franz Harari fan page on Facebook. We ended up interviewing the top magicians from around the world. So we did 110 Facebook live shows. Wow. We didn't think it was going to last over a year. So when we started, we were doing 4 or 5 days a week, sometimes 6 shows a week, one a day.
Yeah.
With a day or two off only, thinking, man, we're going to have to get through these people because the world's going to open it back up. But right now we're not. And then it kept going and going and going. So we're like, okay, let's cut it back to twice a week or 3 times a week, or then let's do it just once a week. And then it's like, who are we going to, towards the end, it's like, who are we going to get? But let's have this person back on again because they were entertaining. So I kept myself busy that way. I recently moderated a real estate event where they had another keynote speaker that is a celebrity real estate person. Mm-hmm. So I interviewed him and Ryan Serhant. He wrote Sell It Like Serhant, a marketing book and whatever. So it was very much like what I had been doing with a magician show. I talked to him, asked him a few questions, and then we had another panel. And it was at the old Packard plant in Detroit, the Packard automotive plant, which was torn, horrible, whatever. And then this company, it's like a whole rebirth thing of this building, and they're still trying to fix it up. So I'm sitting there on a bench in a studio with a big LED wall behind me and a really high-tech production team. And I love that. I mean, if I could stay home and do that interactive, but still I'm not able to interact as much with my audience that I can, because I'm looking at the lens right now.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the lens. So I can't walk into that lens and shake your hand.
So did
So
you
it's
did you
weird.
lose something? And this is curious, a selfishly curious question. Did you lose something in your overall delivery again by not being able to go put hands on someone's shoulder as you're walking around the crowd? And how did you have to change your delivery? I guess now that we are so geared and focused on video content creation, live streaming, via again this monitor and this lens that we're looking through, as opposed to again running up and down the aisles doing the Tony Robbins thing, right, and running up and down
Yeah.
an auditorium and actually laying hands on someone. Give me just again how you had to differentiate from being in front on stage to being remote and virtual.
The being in front of the camera in some way, shape, or form since I was not even old enough to drive a car, and then the Discovery Channel things, I was so used to dealing with the camera. And the camera is not a piece of glass and plastic and electronics. It is like right now, and a lot of people don't do that do these shows.
Mm.
I can see you down below in my peripheral vision. I know what you look like. You're not holding, if you were holding up a book or something, I'd glance down and look at that. But I haven't been looking at you for the entire show. I'm looking at the lens. And
Right.
a lot of people don't, and this sounds weird or like whatever, but the lens to me is a person, and the little dot in the center is their pupil. So I'm looking at that person and I'm connecting. The lens is a person to me. And that is what I've been doing with the Discovery Channel stuff and my own YouTube videos and everything else. I'm not talking to a brick wall. And even if the brick wall was somehow my camera, I'm not picturing any certain persona in my mind, but that lens is no different to me than somebody's eye. So I'm looking at that rather than spending the whole time, because here's the difference in how it would look. If I'm here talking to you, the audience is going to connect to me better this way. But if I'm here doing this,
Right.
you can see the difference, that it's just like, I'm not
That's no
like,
good. Yeah.
like
That's no
somebody,
good.
like a teenager talking to a teenager on a cell phone, which I should turn my cell phone off, by the way. You talk to people and they're like, yeah,
Yeah, that's terrible.
and they're not paying attention to you. So when you're doing these shows or a Zoom or whatever, and you're giving the presentation, but you're like this, that's not good. Another thing I learned, I think it was Michael Caine or something, an old VHS tape I had on how to be a working
You
actor.
keep flashing back with VHS. Now,
I know, isn't that weird? Because
I was
that's
a
where
Betamax
I was
guy,
always
so
learning.
no, look, I'm a Betamax guy. I'm old school too. It's okay.
But
though.
you look, when you're dealing with somebody, I'm going, so you squirrel. When you're dealing with somebody, pick one eye to look at. When you are filming something and interviewing somebody, pick one eye
Mhm,
and stay
mhm.
with that eye to focus on. Because if you're going back and forth, this is what Michael Caine said in the video. If you're going back, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to go back and forth to two different locations, and you can see the flicker in my eye.
Yeah, you look like you're highly caffeinated right now by doing
Yeah.
that.
So you have to focus. So back to
way too many espressos in the Pullum
Yeah.
house right now.
So back to adapting to the virtual shows. Yeah, I couldn't interact as well, and I can't see, especially like we did all our shows on StreamYard, so we could only see the comments, and we weren't doing Zoom. We like StreamYard better.
Yeah.
So I couldn't see those reactions, but you could see the comments from people liking the show or asking things. And it's no different than doing the Discovery Channel shows. I don't know what the audience was reacting, because they were going to see it in a couple weeks after it was edited and everything else, but I have to still engage them and interact with them and whatever, and just asking comments. Like Luria Petrucci's great at this, and I try to do this. If you're new, if this is your first time tuning in to see James Hicks, put new in the comments. Let us know. If you're an old regular, let us know where you're tuning in from. And the one thing that I would do, let me find it. The same thing. If you're new here, please type new in the comments. If you're an old regular, welcome back. What kind of day are you having? Tell me
You never
with
know
an
what you're going to get
emoji.
if you ask that. You got to be see
Drop an emoji.
there he goes
Drop an
again. Drop and
emoji in the
drop.
comments.
Oh my god.
Drop an emoji in the comments and let me know how your day is going. Is it happy? Is it crappy? Is it scrappy, Melanie? How's your day going? Let me know. So that is the
Damn,
only way I
son.
could interact with the audience. So it's a weird shift, but I like it because I can be at home or in front of a camera somewhere and sleep in my own bed and just talk to the camera like I did with the Discovery stuff. And
Yeah.
there's nothing like live shows, though. I look forward for them to open back up. I've done a few since things started opening back up, and it's been incredible to see faces and interact with
Yeah.
people and get that energy from the room.
Yeah. Look,
But
I did my first travel, business travel, was it a week and a half or so ago. I was ecstatic. I didn't know what to do with myself. But you're right. Just being able to get out and engage with folks. And look, we've done probably 4 or 5 advertising drops for Melanie Diane Howe. We're going to need some type of compensation or some. No, we're going to need some type of recognition or something to say, hey, maybe some Tito's vodka or something in the mail. You know,
buy
the
her
address.
a taco. Buy her a taco. Buymeacoffee.com/ she is so and I don't know why she doesn't have thousands of YouTube followers, because she's a rock star, man.
Yes,
her energy and her just everything is just, and I'm not saying that because she's strong, way stronger than me, but just her energy and her everything, you both should have 1 million subscribers. It's no, she's just great. But yeah, and I saw Andy was here. I'm going to go back and look at some of these comments. I saw Andy was here, and Coffee Talk and Tech John Ryan is here, a great guy. Laura Williams is always on your show, always in the comments.
Now, see, so you're looking at. So I'm gonna interrupt because see again, you are familiar with live streaming. You're familiar with content creation, and you can't keep your hands off the buttons, right?
I'll try.
No, it's a good, and it's actually an interesting thing, right? Because regular guest would just be so locked in, focused on making sure they're looking at the lens, looking at the camera, right, and focus on the conversation. But all the knobs to turn, and
it took a while, man.
So talk to us a little bit about that, because that's a very interesting dynamic, right? Because again, I would consider you to be definitely advanced in terms of, again, this video content creation mentality. Give us some more best practices, because you already started talking about some best practices that you've picked up, again, over this last 15 or so months. Talk to us a little bit about some of the things that you can tell the folks that are in the audience right now, because you can't keep your hands off the button. So I'm
trying.
gonna let you go.
I'm trying.
It's all good, brother. I'm gonna let you go.
I'll sit on my hands.
It's
okay. I did probably the first 80 or 90 or more shows of my friend's talk show thing off of my laptop computer.
Mm-hmm.
And I had my little Apple headphones, the white ones with the little white, microphone thing. That was my camera and my microphone for the first 80 or 90 or more shows. And it was adequate. I did it all with Wi-Fi, which is like, you never know what's going to happen. And there were a couple of times where I had to sign back on again. My son was having surgery one time, and there was other surgeries going on, and his was delayed. So to make a long story short, I used like the doctor's office to do a whole one of the shows. And it was just, I brought my laptop and I was doing the switching and everything. The best practices that I've learned, especially with StreamYard, and you're doing it here, and a lot of people don't. A lot of people stay with the 2 static shot or the 4 shot or the 3 shot, however many guests you have.
Mm-hmm.
And I know John Ryan switches back and forth now, and I don't know if he did that from the get-go or not, but people have to be visually entertained,
right,
as well as, your content has to be good. So I will switch back and forth to the main speaker and then the 2 shot and the whatever. And when you switch, because in StreamYard and probably here too, you can see what the guests are doing. When you switch to the main speaker, you see all the other people.
Adjusting headphones
whatever.
right quick,
Yeah, yep.
wiping the face, all that kind. Yeah, you can see it, and I
You
just
give
laugh.
them that gives them a little break, and there are times that I have to switch back for whatever reason to the fourth shot. And you see the people, you know. Um, so to make it visually entertaining, I'd switch back and forth. I would have our guests send me, instead of like all the entertainers from Matt King and Lance Burton and different, Michael Carbonaro from the Carbonaro Effect on True TV, I'd say, you can send us a headshot to use in the promo, but please send us some behind the scenes or some things of you on stage, because when you have people send you just a headshot and you bring it up and you want conversation, oh, that's another headshot.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me, oh, here's another picture. Yep, that's another headshot. Whereas you bring up a picture of them, oh, that was me at the such and such, and I was doing whatever. You get more of a story.
Yeah. When I
out
go
of the
grab something
person.
off your Instagram feed or something, then we can have a conversation, because
Oh,
that's
this
you
and
in
that.
the moment as opposed to the stage shot. Exactly. I like that.
Yeah, yep. And so that worked out well. And then during the timer for I started this pretty late in the game, but I thought this was good. I forget who else I heard doing that. We had a static timer with music and a countdown, so you didn't see us at all. But I would say, welcome to the Franz Harari, or welcome to Franz Harari Talking Magic. I'm your co-host and moderator, John Pullum. Where are you guys watching from today? Let me know in the comments below, this and that, and be sure to share this video and blah, blah, blah. So I would be prepping them during the timer and getting them used to typing in. And the same thing with the emojis. Drop an emoji. Let me know how you're doing today. And people, oh. So you have to prime them to do something. I had a friend of mine that her kids went to school with my kids and whatever, and she said, I finally subscribed to your daughter's YouTube channel. And I said, well, that's kind of weird, because you've been listening to her music that she's been posting for a long time. I said, why didn't you're always raving about it. Why didn't you subscribe before? And she said, she never asked me to.
Wow.
So you have to ask people, like during my videos, the thing that I've
I
learned
love
also.
that. Say that. So repeat part of that, because that's an incredibly good gem there. That again, a lot of content creators that are watching are hesitant to do just what you said. Please repeat that, because that really sticks out.
There was a speaker, James Malinchak, who was on like the $1 Million whatever. It was whatever. He was on TV shows, and he's a speaker coach. And I went to one of his seminars in Vegas or in LA. And he said, you have to ASK. Sorry, my dogs are barking. I'm not sorry. I love my dogs. You have to ASK to GET. You have to ask to get. So you have to ask for the subscriber, or you have to ask them to do whatever. The one thing that I've started doing in the last couple of videos that I'm always trying to learn. I'm always trying to learn things. I have Daryl Eves' book that I'm devouring.
Mine's
Yours
upstairs.
is somewhere.
Mine's upstairs in my bedroom. Yeah, I'm still on chapter 1.
YTformula.com is if you get it there, then you get the bonuses. YTformula.com. Daryl Eves is great. I had a coaching call with him, and I might take his extended coaching and what have you. But I am now just saying, if you like the video, please smash that like button and let me know in the comments below, have you ever blah, 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 or whatever the topic of the video is. I am not currently verbally asking for subs. I will post, I'll have the little graphic or whatever, not this elaborate, but I will have a graphic come up, a little subscribe graphic come up that says subscribe. But the last couple of videos, I've been trying to not ask for the sub, because I figure if they like it enough, they will subscribe. But ask them, smash that like button. If you're liking, even you guys that are watching right now, if you're liking it so far, please smash that like button. And also leave a comment. Leave a comment in the comments right now. And have you ever seen a virtual presentation yet? Have you been part of a virtual presentation where there has been a motivational speaker or some sort of instruction? Let us know in the comments. So Facebook or YouTube will say, wow, there's interaction, there's that like, there's that whatever. And the one thing that I have to stop myself from doing, there's a lot of people, and I think I've stopped myself, but you get a lot of people that start off the video, hey, welcome to the video, smash that like button, subscribe.
I do hate
share
that.
this video. I described it on John Ryan's Coffee, Tech, and Talk, which you guys have to watch that as well. As the waiter or waitress comes to your table, plops down the food, and says, "How is it? How is everything? Is it great? Do you love it? Are you going to give us a review? Do you love the food?"
Yeah.
I haven't even freaking eaten it. I didn't even take a bite yet. So how can you ask somebody right after that? Yeah, how can you do that? I tell them not to subscribe because most people don't. Is that what he said? That's funny. But most people, I'd rather have them wait, because if I hit that like button right at the beginning of a video, YouTube algorithms are probably going, look, they're not even, this person hasn't even watched it enough to like it.
Exactly.
So wait until a little bit in the video, but you have to look at your analytics and see where, how long you can keep them usually. So you want to ask for that like and comment before they're all gone.
Yeah. Those
Yeah.
are good points that you're saying, because again, we're students of the algorithm, right? We're watching those things, so we're conscious and cognizant of what a like does, what a pinned comment does, what a share does, and what organic content on YouTube versus copying the link from YouTube to Facebook will do, right? We are aware of those behind the scenes things, and I'm using this opportunity by having you kind of go into detail to educate the listeners and the viewers on why we do that.
I can go deeper if you want. I mean, I could.
You've got until my coffee is empty, but
There you go. Fill her up, man. Fill her up.
But
Buy James a coffee. Buy James a coffee.
But the idea is, well, we can get into that too. Hold on, let me take my guest off the screen while he's drinking coffee. Buy me a coffee. But the idea, no, I won't do that to you. But again, the idea is, don't be afraid and don't be ashamed. You're a crazy guy. You're like Bill Murray, right? Take you to a party or something and hang out with you. Don't be afraid to ask for the support, the contribution, the sponsorship, whatever the case may be. People will resonate to you if the content matches what they're looking for, right? If you're doing it for the right reason and you're building community, as opposed to just looking at vanity metrics, trying to get to 10,000, 100,000, whatever, trying to get the play button on your wall. If you're just trying to do that, you're going to be sorely disappointed, and you're in this for the wrong reason. If you're in this mode, in this industry, to build a community, have conversation, assist folks, have them assist you, right? I mean, grow relationships. This can be incredibly powerful. This can be incredibly rewarding for the long term. And this is a marathon, right? Don't try to have one viral TikTok or one viral YouTube video. Yep. Don't even come into this game thinking that way. So that's why I was really letting you kind of elaborate on the behind the scenes, kind of how the sausage is made in terms of how we do what it is that we do, why we're streaming at 1 o'clock Pacific time right now, as opposed to like my normal 6 or 8 o'clock, because my analytics show that on Monday at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I've got more of my YouTube subscribers online. And right now, looking at what I see on this other screen, it's pretty evident that the numbers don't lie, right?
Yeah, it's amazing. And there are times that it'll say you have to post this video at noon on a Tuesday, and you post it and it's like, well, that kind of flopped. But you don't know what they're doing. So like there's the live every day in April and the live every day in August.
Yes.
And a lot of content creators push stuff out every day. And so YouTube's getting bombarded with all this stuff that might be in your niche or niche, however you say it. And
is that like GIF or GIF? Oh.
GIF or GIF or potato. So people suggest, why don't you do live every day in July or September or whatever? Like when I used to send out holiday cards to corporations and friends and family, I would usually send out a Happy New Year's card, because their walls would be full of Christmas cards. And then when that was over, they would take them all down. And did you get one from, the Karpinskis? I don't know. I don't remember. And then, but when you show up, when nobody else is showing up with the Happy New Year card, they're like, wow, you're on the top of the pile. And so that's the same with the live every day. The comments that the little things that I've learned, and who knows if it works. I mean, I only have 5,000 and some subscribers, not the gold play button or anything yet, but instead of at the very end of the video. So when I do the live videos, I leave a little gap after the timer. that I can edit out the timer. You
mm-hmm.
will lose when you edit on YouTube, you will lose the live comments. So if you're getting a ton of live comments, you have to take that into consideration.
Speak on that, because that's critical as well. But I won't interject, because
Lose.
again, here's my squirrel moment, right, where I can go off on a tangent. But
Yeah.
go ahead, yeah.
So you lose those. And another thing I do at the very end, and this will confuse the live viewers, but most of the people that are watching on replays.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of a live stream, I'll say, for more videos on such and such, click right there. And if I want to ask for the subscribe to my YouTube channel, click the little circle with my face on it.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. Good day, everybody. And then I can go.
Don't forget
Thanks
to put
again
the
for watching, everybody. Whatever. That's where the end cards go.
I was saying, don't forget to put the end cards up, because you're pointing at them. So when you do that, make sure you put the end cards.
So that's it. And another thing I do, instead of just, because what I have heard through the experts, YouTube loves it like any other store, any other business. They love it when their associates can keep people in their store as long as possible. Yeah. In a mall, don't have an exit to a similar store. Or, if it is, have it associated with you somehow. The thing that I love, like Kohl's, I don't know if they're national or not, but I can return my Amazon order at Kohl's.
Yeah.
And I have to walk all the way back through Kohl's to return my Amazon order. And then Kohl's gives me...
conscious. That's very conscious of what they do. Yep, you're right.
Gives me a receipt, and it has a 20% off at Kohl's or 25%. So it's like, wow, I'm in this store that I might have never been in. And now I have to walk all the way back through the store with this receipt that's only good in store, and I might shop there. So YouTube wants you to keep the people on as long as possible. So at the end, when I say, check out this video, the video that I am suggesting is on a playlist that I made in my YouTube studio. And the video that I'm talking about just happens to be the first one on that playlist. And it could be 2, 3, 4, 20 videos on that playlist. Even if you're doing your first YouTube video ever, if you make a playlist, YouTube is giving you credit for making that playlist. So if the people click on the video on that playlist and keep watching more and more videos that are next on that playlist, or can continue watching other videos on YouTube, you're the one that opened that door for them. That YouTube knows that you, John Pullum or James Hicks or Melanie Diane, whoever, Coffee Talking Tech, anybody that is keeping them on YouTube, YouTube knows that you're the one keeping them on YouTube. The pinned comment. I always comment on my own videos and I say, thanks for watching. If you like this one, you might like this one as well. But this one as well is a link to a playlist. And then I pin, you hover over that comment, and there's 3 little dots that appear. Click on that, pin that comment. So if anybody comments like I tell them to during the video, they have to scroll past my little thank you with another link to more content. Another thing that you can do is put the cards, the add a card. It's like the end screen and stuff, but it's a YouTube card.
Right.
And it's not just an end card, it's a cards, during the stream. And you look at your analytics. And so let's say they drop off, you're finding a lot of people are dropping off for whatever reason at the 2-minute and 30-second mark. You add a card at about the 2-minute and 20-second mark. For whatever reason, it was maybe something you said or didn't say or whatever that's making people just get bored and drop off. And the analytics shows you when. So you add the little card 10 seconds before that. So it pops up and it's up on the upper right corner. So the analytics say they're going to be dropping off. Odds are people are going to be dropping off around that point. So right before they drop off, you're saying,
you throw a call to action, right?
Look at this shiny object that you might like.
Yeah.
And they can go there, which then you are still keeping them on YouTube. So yeah, put playlists instead of just a single video at the end. And even if you make a playlist, if I go make a playlist right now, it's almost like creating content in a way. It's letting YouTube know that you put something on YouTube. And there's been many times for like motivational speaker in Houston, for example, and I don't know if it'll still work or not, but before, if you typed into YouTube, it would be interesting. This would be interesting. Can you try it on yours? can you share your screen and put in
Sure.
YouTube motivational speaker Houston or motivational speaker Houston, Texas? And I'm in Michigan. So try it on YouTube. This will be a test to see if it's still working the way it should be. Oh, look at that. Look at that handsome guy in the upper left there. And there's Luria Petrucci biting her nails. She is so
Motivational
great.
speaker. What am I typing in?
Houston, Texas.
I'm glad I can type today.
Okay, so here's the deal. Look, who's the second?
Oh,
The
my
second
goodness.
one on that
Ladies and
list
gentlemen.
is who? Okay,
Ladies and gentlemen.
it's me.
John.
Why? Why? Because it's a playlist that's talking about motivational speakers in Texas. Now scroll down a little. So I'm the second one, right?
Yeah.
Keep scrolling. Wow, look, wait, stop there. See that play button that says Houston? That is another channel that I made that happens to have, and I don't even upload to that. I don't even have the password to that one anymore.
7 years
But
ago.
it's a video about me. Okay, keep scrolling. See if I'm on there anymore. And nope. Keep going. Yep. Oh, stop right there. Who's that?
Good. Can't beat
Handsome
that
bald
guy.
guy.
Oh my
Holy
goodness. Look
crap.
at this. That's
That's
6
me
years
again.
ago. This guy right here is
Yeah.
all over
So,
the interwebs.
Houston is a huge, and keep going. I don't know if I have any others. But the playlist, I used to be able to make a playlist. Yeah, it might be it.
good
But
enough.
hell, you didn't have to scroll much to find.
Hey,
you
you're number 2, not your front page.
Front page.
Which is a great
and that
place
is
to
a
be.
playlist.
Yeah.
That is a playlist. So I used to be able to. I was at this YouTube class that I went to every week. They had it, and I talked to the main teacher about this YouTube playlist theory that I did. And I said, "Give me a topic. What topic?" And they told me. I went into my account, and the playlists don't have to be exactly about your content. They could just be a playlist. And I made a playlist with these really high-ranking, tough-to-get-in keywords. And I said, check back with me in like 2 minutes. I'm going to do this. Check back with me in 2 minutes during the class. And I had him go on his screen, and he refreshed, and I was on the top page of YouTube because of that playlist. So playlists with the appropriate keywords are great. And a lot of times on the playlist that I have at the end of my motivational videos that I'm trying to do now, I searched up like motivation or motivational, and I filtered by views. So the ones with like over 1 million and some views were, of course, viewed a lot. So I have those scattered throughout my playlist along with some of my things. So it doesn't have to be all your things. I have little things just to keep their, because they might get bored no matter how entertaining my videos are.
Yeah.
And once again, squirrel, my videos, and John Ryan's going to start shaking his head and smiling and whatever. My videos have been all over the place. It used to be a commercial basically for my motivational speaking, and I had testimonials from Reebok and all these video testimonials. And then I just for fun, I bought a ghillie suit and I dressed up like a bush, and I dumped out my wife's large flower pot, and I went to a festival, this Halloween festival locally, and I sat in the flower pot, and then when people would come by, I'd go, "Happy Halloween." I put it up. People,
Well,
I'm sure
you
I'm sure
can't
they
do
had to
that
go.
everywhere. I'm hoping that the environment was. You can't do that everywhere. There's no way in the world that I digress. But go ahead, brother.
I was in the Detroit area, and I didn't get shot. The pit bulls loved me. I had pit bulls going nuts that they were so excited that the bush was petting them. But it got over 1 million views. And then I did a video on how to shave my head. And then so it was all over the place. And I describe it to people like, you go to a place and you open the door and it's an Italian restaurant. You go, "Oh man, this is the best food ever," whatever. And then you go again, you open up the door, and it's still an Italian restaurant. You go a couple of times, it's cool. And then you open the door again, and it's the same owner, but it's a brake shop, and they want to do your brakes. Same guy. And then you open the door again, and it's a pet groomer. And then you open the door again, and it's a meditation center. YouTube doesn't know who to put you in front of if you are all over the place.
Yes.
So with me, 1 million views on the prank video, and half of my subscribers are wanting to see more pranks, which I did another one, whatever, and that only got like 40 some thousand views. but I'm not the prank guy. And so here's people wanting to see pranks, and now it's John teaching them how to shave his head, or John doing a commercial for TubeBuddy or whatever,
Yeah.
a review, to stay in that niche. So I made another channel on royalty-free music. I could, because I wanted to do more videos on the royalty-free music service that I use, but I didn't want to clog up my now motivational type content
Makes sense.
with any of that. But I have, it's like that love interest or a friend or whatever with all that extra baggage that you just don't know what they're going to come up with next, and if you really want to hang out with them. So I've been all over the place with my channel. When I had the consultation with Daryl Eves, and I'm going to have another one in August, he's like, don't put, when you do this idea that I have for a whole new channel, don't put it on your stupid Facebook groups. Don't share it with friends. Don't tell anybody. Let YouTube find it and do its thing organically. Yeah. Because everybody else is coming in saying, oh, like I'm going, come on, here's, YouTube's going, they're all coming from Facebook.
Yeah, let the content dictate the community. I want to do a couple of things, because before I forget, I'm getting older and things start falling out of my head. But I want to acknowledge Mr. Floyd here. This is why I couldn't pick up the phone when you called, sir. I was preparing to go live with Mr. Pullum, so I want to acknowledge you, sir. But Coffee Talking Tech also said something. He says, I'm about keeping the live chat not big enough to care more about just giving the audience the live feel. And this was in relation to the conversation we were talking about, the countdown timer.
And he was talking about, we were chatting about that during his live show, which was great the other day.
So that I've consciously also very, very significantly minimized my countdown timer, right? So again, it's only 60 seconds at most. It'll be 90 seconds. That's really, my idea is to allow the networks that I'm multi-streaming to sync up. So if I'm going to YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitch, wherever the case may be, that's really to allow those networks to catch up. And I'm watching latency and bandwidth issues, coming from my studio outside. So making sure that kind of levels out. I agree with you as well that and folks don't really understand or know that if you do a countdown timer and you cut that off and then you publish that back to YouTube, you lose those chats, you lose those comments. A lot of times that conversation is really critical to the message as well. So my recommendation for folks who, and I'll let you chime in a second, but my recommendation to folks is, if you're going to do a countdown, make it brief. Depending on the size of your audience and what you're trying to do, right? If you're trying to do a game show, if you're trying to do the LSP thing, Loria can do a 10-minute timer, right? To get
but she cuts it off.
But she cuts it off. But focus on, again, your audience, focus on your community. If it makes sense to have a longer countdown timer, do that. But for the majority of folks, I would say keep that short so you can, one, let that technology piece from the back end happen, right? Let all the networks sync up, let all the latency issues alleviate themselves, but keep those comments that are coming in, because I'm posting them on the screen as they're coming in, right? So Melanie, Laura, Derek, folks that are coming, I don't want to lose that string of consciousness and that string of communication by cutting out something that was 5 minutes long. So I'm 60 seconds long. Make sure we both look good on the screen, play a little music, boom,
and people can wait.
Yes.
People could wait a minute.
Yeah. I've found that 90 seconds is doable. When you start going 2, 3, 4 minutes, then you start having issues with again, folks falling off. And then, because it's so much easier to click off the video than to fast forward and scrabble forward.
I think Melanie has like a 10-minute, and I know Luria does. And Melanie, she puts on her sunglasses and is dancing. So I'm going to have to practice dancing, or maybe just put a video of somebody.
I'm gonna be looking forward to that tomorrow.
Bald man dancing. Maybe I'll find a YouTube video that I can snag and just have bald man dancing and just put that on there and say it's me. But the thing with John Ryan and you as well, and once again, I'm looking at the lens, so I'm not reading the comments down below, and I'm tempted to, but I'm not, because I don't want to. Is he puts his comments on, boom. He's always going through the comments, and even if they're later and the topic's over or whatever, he's still putting them on the screen. So if he edits and gets rid of those comments, you can still see them. There's someone down there. There's Melanie. I continue to go back and forth with the countdown. What do I need to do? See, I looked at her comment because it's Melanie. But at least they're on there. So even if you cut off your thing, everybody's going to see just about every comment that comes on that is part of that conversation. And it's good to put the comments up, because I also find people, especially in the magic show that I did, oh man, they're excited to see, they're excited to hear you say their name, and they're excited to see their image and their comment come up on the screen. Some of them, we didn't put everyone up. I'm just not flipping through. I'm putting the ones up that are relevant at that exact time. You don't want to be 5 minutes later and putting, hey, what happened with your bottle of water? What if it's like, that was a long time ago. So if they're too late, I'm like, I'm not even going to put them up. But the one guy that has millions of YouTube subscribers and everything else gave us a suggestion. If you're going live at, let's say, 9 p.m. at Eastern is when we went live with our show, 3 minutes or so before 9, I would start the countdown timer, because we used to just do the show. We are live with another. We'd start the show cold.
Yeah.
In about 3 minutes into it, after we introduced who was going to be on the show and did their intro and their little promo and everything else, people are tuning in. Who's on the show today? Who is it? Who's it? And then you see the numbers. So when you start off with that 3 minute, they suggested 3 minute countdown timer, 3 minutes before your scheduled show, it lets Facebook alert everybody that's a fan. And then they show up and are seated before the theater lights turn down and the show starts.
Love that analogy, yeah.
So do it 3 minutes before. So people, I think Melanie does this too. So if the thing's going to be at 2 p.m., she'll start it at 1:50 of the 10-minute countdown timer. So I am not tuning in at 2 p.m. She's very entertaining. She's very entertaining.
I'm watching the whole dance party. So.
Yeah, but you're there for 10 minutes before 2. Yeah. Because when you start it, she doesn't start the timer at 2 usually. It's usually 10 minutes before, and then at 2 o'clock you're tuning in and you're catching their show. You don't want to start at 2 o'clock and then it's like going to the movies and sitting through 15 minutes of freaking trailers, But if you keep putting the comments up on the screen that are relevant, that you're interacting with, I think it's okay to trim, and then I trim at the end. For a while there, Facebook wouldn't let me trim the timer, and some of them I still haven't trimmed it on. John Ryan sometimes says, they can fast forward, or they know. Don't assume
exactly
that your audience is as smart as you think they are. Don't assume they know how to fast forward or skip forward. It's like the animated intro before a video. Don't do them. People have such short attention spans, and there's another million videos with that same topic that they can click to the next one
and get right to it.
Next. Excuse me. Don't give them an option to want to click away. That timer. I just don't have time to flip through or whatever. So, excuse me.
Oh, you're falling apart over there. You're
falling apart. You're choking me up. But I try my best to edit them, and then I find on YouTube with the royalty-free music one I have, it takes a while for them to get it back up so I can put those end cards, sometimes a long time. But 2 minutes, start at 2 or 3 minutes before. I saw that comment there briefly. Start at 2 or 3 minutes before, depending on how long your timer is, before that show starts. That's and then that point. Will let people know that you're live. And those that are going to tune in at 9 don't have to sit through, because 2 minutes, it's like,
it's
picture it going into a store.
Yeah.
Picture it going into a store. Let's say 7-Eleven that everybody knows. If you had to sit in front of the 7-Eleven door and watch a 10-second little 7-Eleven little logo plop around before that door opened, even do 5 seconds of the little 7-Eleven logo before it opens, you're going to say, screw 7-Eleven. I'm going next door where I don't have to wait 5 seconds before they open the door and show me their little animation. And people are the same way. I used to have the animation at the end as well. You want to keep people on your video for as long as possible. Don't even say in conclusion.
With the content, as opposed to, again, a whole lot of stuff that's not relevant to the
Yeah.
message, right? So
In my
again,
final thought before I end this show, people are going to go, okay, it's ending. Don't, in this video, I'm going to teach you the one thing you need to know while baking a cake. You don't start with that one thing you need to know and then talk for another 20 minutes. You build up, do the grand finale, and get the hell out of there, so.
listen to this man, folks. He's been on TV. He knows the whole behind the
But
scenes.
this is somebody too that only has 5,500 whatever subscribers.
That limiting statement only. We're going to get rid of that. That's something
only.
we want to talk about.
I have 5,500 and whatever. Yeah.
Let me bring a couple of comments that are coming through. And first and foremost, again, appreciate everyone that's chiming in and being engaging and being interactive. Mr. Pullum here is just dropping some wisdom.
And smash that like button.
See, there he goes. I'm gonna have to send him some of my new press and sew gear. That's good stuff. Melanie is asking about chapter markers, and I'm testing something different, right? She asked about how about chapter markers, as opposed to putting it in the description, starting with this stream and maybe my one tomorrow. I'm gonna start putting it in the first pinned comment. I'm gonna write the first comment, pin it, and put the chapter markers in there. And I want to see just how that works, because a lot of times I will put my affiliate relationships, my links and things like that at the bottom of the description. So I'll say what the stream is about, do the introduction. This is John Pullum. This is what he does. These are his links. And then I'll say, I'm using this camera, this microphone, these lights, whatever. Now I have those links, but chapter markers will tend to disappear in all of that minutia. So what are your thoughts about that, by pinning chapter markers in the first comment by the actual creator?
I never put the chapter, so far I have not put them in the first comment. And I know John Ryan has gone on tangents about this as well on his Coffee Talking Tech. Subscribe and smash that like button. But I've started doing it because in TubeBuddy, do you have TubeBuddy? Do you use TubeBuddy?
I do.
Yeah. So I was going to put up my banner, but I shall not. That is not right. I use TubeBuddy, and they have the best practices. In one of them is chapters and whatever. And chapters, people say, how do you get that? How do you get that thing? All you have to do is put 00,
Colon.
00, just colon 00.
Mm-hmm.
That's all you have to do. And put introduction or whatever.
Yeah.
And then 00, colon 23. It's interesting because some of them, I don't do this on all of them or I try to do the chapters on all of them in some way, shape, or form. But have you ever searched out like how to change a headlight on a 2008 Town and Country or something?
Volkswagen Scirocco. 1978.
Yeah. So there's some that when you do that search, you'll see a video, but it's starting right at that portion where they're talking about how to change a headlight in a 2008 Chrysler Town and Country. That is because that chapter is called How to Change a Headlight in the 2008 Chrysler Town and Country. So you can make your chapters keyword searchable filled or whatever. Like on this one, you could put this run right here. How to use chapters for your YouTube video or whatever. And that could be this segment here, or how to connect with an audience could be another segment. You just don't put intro. My dog barked, 1 minute and 37 seconds. I took a drink of water. But chapters are good, and it lets people skip ahead because there are some videos like other friends of ours that stream for 2, 3, 4 hours.
I've been on some of those streams. I've been on some of those, and we'll call them 5-hour energy streams.
They're like the Jerry Lewis telethon,
They're good.
So
good
you're thinking,
for sure, but wow.
I saw on so-and-so show that he was talking about the type of lights he used in his studio or what color he painted his back wall.
Yeah.
And 18% gray, I think you told me, James.
That's what that is.
So it's I'm not going to go through 4 or 5 hours. But if I can look on the chapters and say, there's what I was looking for, I'm going to click on that. And all you do is put that in the description, like I said, and then they automatically make the chapters in your YouTube video instantly. You can go to my YouTube channel, and I don't know if you have any on yours, but go to my YouTube channel and you will see, is this a right overlay? There we go. You go to my YouTube channel, the last few of them at least, and you will see down lower in the description, you will see, like, click on one of those. Click on, let's say, go to videos. Okay, that's a mind reading one. Let's go to videos. See on the very top where it says home and then videos. There you go. Go to videos. And then let's say hire a speaker. Okay, that's the latest one. And that got horrible views. But go to, and then scroll down. There, me tapping the glass. Scroll down there. And then you can see the applause button. See that? Applaud. That's a new thing that I was a beta tester for YouTube. And if they click that, they can get a little animated. It's almost like a super chat.
Okay.
But that's something they're going to be rolling out more to other people. So go to the description, see where it says show more, click on show more, and then scroll down. And then I put the transcript in there. I go to rev.com, rev.com. So I put the transcript as much as I can fit in there. Sometimes it's just a partial transcript. That was a short video, so it fit all of it because I'm saying things.
Yeah.
Now, in this video, I say
I've never seen people actually put the transcript in. That's interesting because I'm doing a lot of audiograms, right, and posting the clips onto Instagram with the captions. But that's an interesting perspective there of putting the transcript.
And I don't know if it does anything better because I do have it in the closed captions as well. Mm-hmm. But I say in that video, whether you're hiring a motivational speaker in Maui, Hawaii, a motivational speaker in Orlando, Florida, or a motivational speaker in Las Vegas, Nevada, the main thing that you have to do is, book early to ensure you have whatever I say in that. Yeah. But I did a search for motivational speaker in Las Vegas, whatever. And this video at the time, at least, was on the top page, pretty close to the top because I said that. Yeah. Said those keywords during the video, and it was in the text as well. So there's I don't know why I'm pointing. There is the thing. So it's motivational speaker for sales conference. How to book a motivational speaker, and motivational entertainment by John Pullum. So if you scroll up to the video again, and let's say hover over it a little bit. There I am asking them to leave a comment. But you can see the chapters, and they're huge chapters. But if you're going through a lot of content on the video, you could have numerous chapters on there. Yeah. So it automatically adds it. I also use B-roll. There's a smash the like button. I use the overlays. I have B-roll from a service that I use, and it's visually entertaining from hopefully start to finish.
Yeah. One thing I wanted to point out is that I also like the fact that you're using the hashtags, right? And YouTube,
I don't know if they do good,
but they will show in the line right above your title as long as they are relevant to the content. So
yeah, and you don't want to spam with.
Exactly. That's where I was going to go. So I'll let you say it since you're the guest.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Again, you can't just put in things that are not accurate, not relevant to the content that's being shared. YouTube, we can't trick the algorithm. No, you can read about it. You can try to learn about it. You can be cognizant of it, but is that the right word? Cognizant of it. There we go. But by putting something in here that's not relevant to the content, it won't show up actually as a title hashtag. So keep those short, maybe 3-4 hashtags, right? And they'll show up right above your title.
And look what's suggested at the end, bottom right. Look what's suggested, which is very, very, very funny. There we are, right there. And it's live. And you could see, for those who were watching the screen, you could see that there was a playlist at the very end that I told them to click on. But yeah, you don't want to put keywords and things. And I do have my little tags that are the default tags, and it's motivational speaker, keynote speaker, whatever. And if I'm not talking about that, I delete those tags and put relevant tags,
Yeah.
you know?
Let me
So
let me go back real quick because again I want to be cognizant of your time, but again I could be here all day with you, but
I'm fine.
because I want to get into the little special event that we had planned as well, but we've got some very interesting comments that I think need to be addressed as well. Shouts out to Miss Keely Dunn, one of my very good friends is in the audience. She says, I love chapter markers and focus on SEO words and phrases. I get feedback on them too. People skip with them, but then they go back to the rest of the content because they're happy with the content. But again, the chapter markers really allow folks to see and understand the flow of the content and understand the flow of the conversation. It's great to see Melanie as well is experimenting with chapter markers and things of that nature. YouTube is telling us to do this, so listen to the big machine. If you're trying to rank, if you're trying to actually get in front of more people's ears and eyes, two biggest search engines on the planet, Google and YouTube, owned by the same company. Facebook is Facebook. It has its places. It has its relevance. LinkedIn is LinkedIn. It has its places. It has its relevance. But again, from this video content creation activity and environment that many of us are in, focus on tuning your YouTube production, creation, descriptions, methodologies. John Pullum's got some amazing things that he's doing, again, by putting in that transcript. That's pretty cool. I may start busting out my Descript.
I also, and I don't know if this helps or not, but somebody told me to do it, so I do it. I put video URL, and then I put the link to that video in the description as well. I don't know if it helps. Somebody says it kind of gets it indexed better or whatever, but that video of the video they're watching, there's no reason for them to click on it.
No, well, Coffee Talk and Tech just said the same thing, right? Or just add links to your, oh no, he was talking about put links to your equipment in the description. Yeah, I understand that. Okay.
Yeah. The one thing that I do, I have on my website, I do have and I used to put that on the thing, but it's a resource page. So I have a lot of my links to things on my resource page. So you go to the resources up on the top. There you go. So you go to the resources, and so I have links to a lot of the things that I use. So it's although I do have a lot of links in my description, if I really wanted to, I have a link to my Amazon store, which has all the cameras that I use and the lighting and everything. I have hosting. I have just about everything they need into one link thing. YouTube doesn't want you drawing people away from them, but I could do the affiliate things. And then I have the tutorial. I have the embedded video on TubeBuddy and the music service I use and everything else. There is a website called namecheap.com. I used to use GoDaddy for everything, but namecheap.com, you can get a domain name
for $1.
Yeah, for like $4, and you can forward it.
Yep.
So instead of,
all right, now people's minds are going to explode here in a minute, because now you're adding a whole real complexity.
But instead, real quick,
it's a good thing, right? Yeah, I'm gonna have to bring you back, man, because I wasn't even planning. I was planning on just giving them a little bit of this love and this action.
Oh, it's like I could open the fire hose, but instead of saying
the whole kimono open right now, go ahead.
such and such.com/2545 whatever your affiliate link.
Yeah,
like I got royaltyfree.vip instead of .com. Royaltyfree.vip will take them to my music service affiliate link, so it's easier to remember. And it's $4. So if you're not making a ton on the whatever. Yeah, but it's something.
I love it, man. I love it. And that's all good stuff. That's all. Oh, let me say what's going on to this guy. First and foremost, Sammy, you see me rocking it.
Sammy.
Right? Sammy Superstar in the building. I'm rocking.
And I noticed the shirt, Sammy, when he signed on. I looked and I said, that's a Sammy Superstar shirt.
Gotta wear
and what did I say? This is gonna be great. That's
Well,
Sammy's favorite
I'd be
thing to
wearing
say.
mine if I didn't spill coffee all over it, like 10
I have
minutes
my
before the show.
Ecamm fam shirt on here. No, Sammy is everywhere. There's
Everywhere.
another guy, Marcus, and on the Lita group with Luria and all that. He is everywhere. I also have a group that I made after Lita that is a place that people can go and practice streaming and
Mm.
everything else. And Sammy and Marcus are a couple that always show up and give people some great support. And you need a place to practice. That's the one thing I love
Yes.
about the Facebook group that I have. It's only 100 and some people on it, but I have people go on and they're like, whatever, and they're looking around and they're trying to figure stuff out. And these are people that have great live streams, and a couple of them have been on your show,
Right on.
and it just gives you a place to practice and get feedback from people and with like-minded people. And that's another thing, that there's going to be a lot of negative people in your life, and you can't do this and you can't do that, and some have good ideas, but most of them that give the people the advice have never even hit the go live button. And now,
Ooh.
I mean, the stuff that I learned in broadcast school,
Yeah.
when the hundreds of thousands of dollars of equipment I was using, my little crappy iPhone 8 does more than I learned in broadcast school. So there's no excuses. Mr. Beast got like his first 100,000 subscribers using this phone.
Yeah.
There's no reason to not hit that go live button. I do little video things for clients and friends. I've sent Mel one before. I've sent different people, hey, just wanted to say, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for that video today, or, your whatever. I hope you're doing well. 60 seconds.
Yeah.
And you send them the message, happy birthday, whatever. And you have that connection with your clients. I'll send clients, hey, it was great talking to you, so-and-so. They're like, who else takes the time?
Yeah.
We have so much.
Let me say something about that, and some of the folks that are on the screen will resonate with this, and then I want to go into the next segment. Well, I want to say three things actually. First, you're coming back, because
Thank you.
we've touched on so many things.
I'll be back.
And again, these are tools, best practices, aspects of, again, this video content creation journey that folks don't know about, and they assume, they think it's hard, they think it's difficult. It's not really, because come along for the journey, and our focus is really to build the community, and there's no big eyes, there's no whatever the analogies are, right? It's all about community, all about helping people, and I can tell that Facebook group that you have is going to continue to flourish. Number two,
I hope so. And there's no upsells.
Yeah. No, and number two, I wanted to mention, again, talking about the community and the folks that are here, I do want to give a shout out, and I do want to give acknowledgement. We within the Ecamm family, within the Let's Get Live family, we did lose one of ours today, and I'm not going to say the name, I'm not going to say anything else, but I do want the folks that are listening and watching to know that I am thinking about his family, and I'm thinking about the loss that we have, and hopefully we can do something for that gentleman and his family. But again,
now I'm thinking.
But see, again, that's community.
Yeah.
It's beyond just us sitting here talking about cameras, lights, microphones, roadcasters, and all of that. We really are building relationships to where, when I got the news this morning, and a number of folks on here probably as well got the same news, we're like, damn, right? There's so much more to be thankful for. And like you were saying, grab that phone, send that video message, send that FaceTime to someone, just saying hello,
Before
saying
it's
happy
too
birthday.
late.
Just take the time to actually acknowledge the folks that are important in your life. A lot of times, folks that are on the stream right now, I'll just send them the wave emoji, right? Won't say anything else, but it'll just be kind of my acknowledgement that you matter in my life. So there's my rant for today, and I wanted to say that because, again, today we started off with some unfortunate news,
and everybody now is searching.
Well,
we lost everyone, but that's the important thing. There's so many people, and I'm going to go off on a little rant here as well. When somebody says at the cash register, "How are you doing today?"
Yeah,
I usually say, other than having a bad hair day, I'm doing great. And they laugh. Some go, huh? They don't know how to react. But the thing that you find that most people don't do in front of you,
Yeah.
the person goes, how are you? And the person, oh, fine, thanks. Yes. Yeah. I'm at the store. I have to, when you, even a telemarketer, how are you doing today, sir? Great. How are you? And it's like, it's not on their script. I always ask somebody, doing great. How are you doing? Or whatever. And care about the other person. You don't know the person. One of my videos is about this as well. You don't know if the person that just cut you off in traffic is heading to the hospital to see their loved one for the very last time, or maybe they lost somebody. You don't know if that person that screwed up your order at McDonald's and gave you a small fry instead of a large that you went and told off is suicidal and they're going to go home and kill themselves. You don't know what the other person is going through. So be kind. And when I've said to people, other than having a bad hair day, I'm doing great, they laugh and then they tear up. And they make me tear up. And they say, thank you. I haven't laughed or smiled in such a long time. And it's like, I laugh and smile when I'm mowing the lawn and I think of something, or alone in the car, or what, I'm laughing and smiling constantly. Yeah, I have my share of sadness or whatever, but a good 99% of the time I'm finding fun at things. I've spoken at funerals and the people said, this is the best funeral ever, because I had them laughing. And you're not talking about the sad times you had with the people. The first 3 letters of funeral are fun, so people, you have to remember the fun times with people. It's, life is too short to be a jerk. And my daughter dealt with somebody yesterday that was very negative to her at this party. And she was really distraught by it. And I told her, and this is a way to think about it. And Michael Angelo Caruso, a local speaker, said this during the speech. So I'll give him credit, and he probably heard it from somebody else. That somebody says, how's your day going? I've had a bad day. I've had a horrible day. Well, tell me what happened. Well, there was this guy at, this party that was negative to me or whatever. Or the person cut me off and, almost hit me or whatever. And he said, so you've really had a bad 3 seconds or a bad 5 minutes, but you chose to make it a bad day. Wow. That person that cut you off or flipped you off or whatever is already going on with their day, and they don't even remember what they did to tick you off.
Yeah. You
are holding that and making it a bad day yourself. With this person yesterday, it's like, this guy's a loser. He's done this, whatever. You are going places and that are wonderful. Don't let this loser say, why are you going to do this or that? Bringing your whole day down. You have to consider the source, but also don't go off on somebody that you don't know how their day is going. Just kill them with kindness, but don't let that 2 seconds ruin your 24-hour day, because a person that tried to tick you off is already at the movies and having a great time. So,
but that I'm essentially take that as a bit of intervention for me as well today. So I'm gonna take that and use that as strength. So I appreciate that.
My car, real quick, I told you before this, I went to a wedding on Saturday, and my very old van, I think, blew the engine. We're driving and it started making weird sounds, but it was driving good. And all of a sudden, and something fell. I could hear something fall off, and big smoke. And it stopped, and I got over to the side of the road. There was a nice couple from Indiana, probably Muncie, I would imagine. They stopped and made sure I was okay. They thought our car was on fire. So we're waiting for 2 hours, missed the ceremony, just made it to dinner barely. Horrible. Couldn't find a rental car. No Uber's going to pick up somebody on the side of a highway, whatever. It was a nightmare, but family helped. But my son he's 19, 6 foot tall. Funny. All my kids are great. But he's going, boop, boop. He was trying to get the semi trucks to beep. So I have videos of all of us standing by the side of the road. So you could take that horrible experience, which it was horrible for a good hour, wondering what in the heck we were going to do and how we were going to get anywhere and not be stranded at the side of the road forever. but we're all making the semi trucks beep and cracking up. So you can take horrible situations and make them more horrible, or you can have that positive outlook on life and just have fun as it, be those bands, the guy playing the violin on the Titanic as it sinks, rather than going, Jack,
Find some joy and some happiness in the day, irregardless of the situation, literally. And
leave them laughing.
I knew when you said it, I just knew that was another shameless plug for MDH there. With the Muncie reference there. She's getting a lot of gems dropped here today. So
yeah, I have a couple of great friends in Muncie. I'll have to come down there and visit them.
All right,
but
let's do it, brother. You know what? Let's do it. Let's do this. What is it? The mental taco. Folks,
so here's the deal.
Yeah, folks, you're about to get blessed with a very interesting segment here. No, John, no issues, no technology issues.
I'm trying to get to the screen. I'm trying to get to the screen with the volume.
Right.
And I want to have the I want to see if I can find that volume setting on Ecamm here, because we were having some issues.
All right, I'm gonna set the room here now. There we go. You're center stage.
Alrighty.
I'm just hanging to the top right there,
but I'm trying to find. Maybe you can help me. Where in the heck is the window for the sound? Where's sound? Sound effects. Where are you? Wonder if I have it. I don't even see where in the heck my sound effects levels are here on Ecamm.
Well, are you coming? You're coming in through your virtual cam. So open up your sound levels. Go into Windows.
But see, I have that option in the window, the sound effects, and I don't know if I have it like off on another screen or something, because I am not seeing.
Help him out, Sammy. Sammy's here. Help him out.
Help me out, Sammy, because I want you guys to be able to hear this. But I am not, whatever. So I'm going to try it, and hopefully you guys can hear it. Let me try a little quick one, James. And if you can't hear it, I am going to do the voiceover on it, okay?
All right.
But what I need you guys to do, before I had mentioned dropping that emoji, and there's so many different emojis, there's so many different options, but I'm going to have you point to your screen. So get ready, get close enough that you can actually point to your screen. And I'm going to try to connect with some of you. I've been reading some of the comments, trying to connect with some of you, and I think this will work. But let's do a quick test, James, to see if you can hear this at all. Could you hear it?
It's very garbled, very very low, little stacks.
Okay, so I'm gonna do a voiceover for the first time ever, and like I said, I can't really quit. Or can I? Can I quit Ecamm? Or would you? Yeah, you'd probably lose me. So I'm not going to risk that. I'm going to attempt to do a voiceover of my voiceover.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully this will make sense to everybody. So here we go.
It's worth it, folks. It's worth it, folks.
It's worth it. Here we go. Get ready to touch your screen and come at this with an open mind. And I'm going to try to connect with yours. I'm going to attempt to read your mind right through the screen. Are you ready? What I want you to do is point to any object on this screen. Any object. Now, move your finger to the closest unicorn head. Make sure it's the closest. Got it? Now, move your finger to the closest taco. Move your finger to the closest taco. And last but not least, move your finger to the closest smiley face. Move your finger to the closest smiley face and keep it right there. I'm going to try to find out where you are. Oh, there you are.
Dude.
Right there.
You know what? He did it again.
I hope you're having a happy day. Thanks for letting me read your mind.
I don't know how you did it, but did anybody else
It worked? Hopefully. Let me know in the comments if I was able to get it. I know it might have sounded weird because of the double audio, and I apologize, but hopefully it worked for you. Hopefully it worked for you. Can we try one more thing, James? Do you have a minute? You have another second?
Well, yeah, but again, you've blown my mind again. I just don't understand how the whole mentalist aspect and how you are able to know 2,500 miles away what I'm pointing at on my screen. Folks, put in the comments what if you got.
Did I get it?
Did
Let
you
me
get as
know.
well? So yeah, go ahead, John. Go
Let
do another
me
one.
know. All right. What I want you to do you have your cell phone handy?
I do.
What I want you to do, there's so many websites. There's
wow.
so many.
Buy me a coffee.
From,
sorry.
Buy me a coffee. Go ahead. Buy me somebody bought you a coffee.
Yeah.
Somebody bought you a coffee. That's good. Or you could buy Mel a taco. And actually, that taco bit was because of Melanie. There's so many different options to choose from emojis, but I just love Melanie Diane Howe. And so I put the taco on because of her, and then I put the unicorn on because of Callie and Luria over at Live Streaming Pros. Their channel is great too. So the both little, had little inspiration there. So many different websites. What I would like you to go to, it's called Wiki. Let me see if I got it here in perfect. Wikicount.net. Wiki, like Wikipedia, wikicount.net.
Wiki.
Do you have it? Are you there?
Hold on. I've got thick fingers here. Wiki.
No problem.
Oh my.
WIKI count, like Count Dracula count.net. Let me know when you're there.
All right, I am there.
Okay, now this is a website that somebody created, and it's like updated stats. How many, there's millions of articles on Wikipedia, but how many words per article? There should be, towards down, it should say word count or something per article.
Average approximately words per article. Yes. Do you want the number?
And, yeah, because I have my calculator here. I'm gonna add everything up here. What is the word count?
1, 2, 3, 5. 1,235.
1, 2, 3, 5. And then how many articles per whatever? There's probably
how many articles
6
are on
million
Wikipedia?
or whatever.
Yeah. So how many articles are on Wikipedia? 6,339,973.
So between the words and everything else, there's like 12,356,339,973 words, but the and whatever is repeated. There is also, it should say go to Wikipedia or whatever on there.
Yes.
Click on that. Okay. Now, I don't want you to hold the phone up so I can see anything, but I want you to search for something that you would not be afraid of saying, online. Search, it could be a name, it could be a place, it could be anything there on Wikipedia. And we haven't prearranged anything at all. Nothing was set up before the show. You didn't know we were going to do this. I want you to type something into your search engine and let me know when you're done. Search up something on the top there. There should be a search bar.
Yeah.
Type in something.
Okay.
You got it?
Yep.
And you can search for that. All right. You hit enter or whatever, and you're seeing that page. What I'd like you to do, I'd like you to scroll up the page, and you'll see that it's usually a long article. You'll see different paragraphs and stuff. I'd like you to stop anywhere you want and kind of make it a challenge on me. Now, here's the deal. Like in the live audience, I'm able to go in the audience and look at people's eyes and deal with their entire body language. But here it's just over the computer, so it's a lot more difficult. I want you to stop at a paragraph, and I want you to think of a word that's on that paragraph, but let's say more than 6 letters or so, more than 6 or 8 letters. Make it a decent sized word to make it a challenge on me. So not like the or a or and. Mm-hmm. Let's say more than 6 letters. You got a word that you're thinking of on that paragraph?
Yes.
Yes. I am going to get a little paper here, and I'm going to write, and don't say the whole word. Just concentrate on the first letter for me. Concentrate on the first letter for me of that longer word. I'm going to write my prediction down here. What was just the first letter of that word? What was the first letter of the word you were thinking of?
R.
R. See, so I didn't get it because that's the deal. I put N. In person, this is where the virtual thing is kind of different. Concentrate on the second letter of that word for me. Concentrate on the second letter of that word for me. Think of it uppercase. Think of it uppercase.
So I will stop you though, and we'll continue on because I had a word that started with N, and then I switched.
Oh, you changed it. Okay, so that's maybe the deal.
So
okay, so maybe that's okay. So concentrate on the R word, but think
Yeah.
of the second letter, but think of it uppercase, because usually people think of it lowercase, and I think you are as well, because that's probably what it is. Concentrate on that second letter of the word.
Yeah.
And people watching this are going to say, oh, this was prearranged. It was not in any way. Concentrate on that second letter. I'm getting that's an E. Is that an E? Is that correct, James? Is an E in your mind an E?
Dude.
Second letter of that word, R, and then the second letter is E, correct?
Yeah.
Yes? Yes. Concentrate on the third letter. Is that a C? A C. I'm getting a C.
Right.
That is a C in your mind, right? There's a C in your mind. Now concentrate almost on the whole word. Just don't say it, but just think of it. Just in your mind, say, John, my word is, and say the word, but just silently in your mind. Don't say it. And can you go full screen on yourself instead of me? Because I really want to see your face here to get this. Because I'm not. Go full face. Okay. Now look right at the screen and just concentrate on that word. Concentrate on that word. And
you better not say this word.
I'm getting an REC. I'm getting also the next one. I'm getting an O. I'm getting an O. And there's a couple letters that are the same in there. There's a couple of there's a few E's and M's or whatever. I'm getting. Is it recommended? Is it recommended as a word you're thinking of?
Dude.
Recommended. Recommended as a word. And you were thinking of another word before, but there was a lot of words, but the other word you were thinking of, because you were thinking of it and you switched back and forth. I'm getting, it had to do with numbers or something. I'm getting the first word you were thinking of had numerous. Now scroll all the way up. Scroll all the way up the page. Scroll back up to the top. Scroll back up to the top. Now think of the main subject or the person or the food or whatever that you were concentrating on Wikipedia. We can go back to a two-shot now if you want. Go back to a two-shot. Now this is
I'm scared to touch anything.
Okay, scared to touch anything. This is something that I'm getting people. I'm getting like groups. I'm getting something that during the quarantine this was not able to be it. Now this is something also that for some people it wouldn't make sense to them because they're thinking. Half of me is thinking cold. But the other half right now is thinking more of a warm sport, which is really, really messing up my mind here, James. I'm thinking warm and cold
I'm normally
all in once.
I'm shaking it.
That's good. This is warm and cold all in one. Does that make sense to you? That makes sense? That makes sense. I hope, because I'm seeing the color blue. I'm getting blue and black. I don't know if these are uniform colors or what. If it is a uniform type thing. I'm getting green as well, and I'm seeing people together with like sticks.
What?
Think of what you're thinking of. I'm seeing grass, so I'm getting like a lawn or a field. I'm getting like a lawn or a field feel to this, and I'm also, like I said, which is weird because I'm usually seeing cold and ice in my mind. I'm seeing cold and ice. I'm seeing people ice skating, but there's no ice skates, and I'm getting like a hockey, like a lawn hockey or something. Does that make sense to you? Is it lawn hockey or?
Can I show the screen? Well, can I? Or
yeah, go ahead,
folks.
Get it? What was it?
Field hockey.
Field hockey.
It was field hockey. The two words were numerous and recommended.
So I got the words as well. So that's good because with my show, I'm in the audience and I'm able to interact with
slow
people.
down, dude. Hold on, slow down. This
is my mind doesn't now. It's like sped up. So
I need the lotto numbers from you immediately. I need all 6 numbers and the whatever the.
But this was not set up. I mean, James is a good actor, but not. He didn't know I was going to do this.
I'm dropping profanities online, so you that okay. Oh, okay.
That's good. So in my show, picture that, but picture people thinking about things. The last place they ate dinner, or a trip, or whatever. You what?
No, Keely's in the audience. I did field hockey for her. Wow.
Okay. Yeah. Wow. So it's because that was confusing to me, and that's with the interactive show.
Wow.
At corporations, sometimes people are thinking of things. And I'll have people come up to me after the show and say, you were saying such and such. And that's what I was thinking. You were talking to that person, but I was thinking field hockey or whatever. And that's why you picked up on that. So when I'm interacting with people during my stuff for sales conferences and what have you, that is just a little tiny sample of what you get in the John Pullum experience, but,
I am
Yeah.
sold. I will buy the book. Pullum.com. Book
But make
this
sure it's
man.
spelled right. People say pull man,
Oh,
pulled ham. They
dude.
spelled pulled ham once. Make sure you put, because you can spell gum, Gum, but you don't spell Gman, G
Dude, that's
man.
crazy. I gotta.
Pullum.
I'm not gonna ask Houdini his behind the scenes. And, I'm not gonna ask David Blaine
But I
his
mean,
behind
that's
the scenes things.
Wikipedia.
But
I mean, you can scroll. That is Wikipedia that you're on, and you can go
it
search other
literally,
things on Wikipedia.
yeah, it literally
Yeah.
is. I don't know how you
Yeah.
distracted me by going one way with, but you had the words, and literally I was looking at one word first, and then I
Because I
changed.
could tell. Because that's why I was saying go full. Because I said go full screen because I was getting two different things going through your mind, and that is, like being in a marriage. What do you want to? I don't know. It's like it's people have all these random thoughts. So to try to focus on the one thing, especially through the computer, that's why I said go to you full screen so I could see you better than just that little circle. So I'm glad it worked. If it didn't, it would have been a crappy way to end the show.
I'm not. I'm stammering and stuttering. That normally doesn't happen here.
It's good.
I'm gonna end on that high note. Mr. Pullum, tell
Perfect.
folks first of all where they can reach you. That
Well, the main thing I would love
That's
them to
crazy.
do is subscribe to my YouTube channel. On YouTube, it's John Pullum on YouTube. I will still continue putting videos out there even after I do the thing with Daryl Eves and make another channel. But my YouTube channel is where you'll find me in my motivational videos and everything else. And also, they can go to Pullum.com. That's Pullum. Well, you can see it under there. You can't see it there. It's cut off. But Pullum.com is where you'll find out what I do for my corporate entertainment, and my YouTube links are there, and the resources are there of products and services that I use. I'm all about affiliate marketing, but I don't mind sharing. And that's the thing. People say, why am I posting my resources and letting people see behind the curtain on what I do? It's a big enough community that I'm willing to show people the things that I use to make my YouTube channel with, help it grow and use in my business and everything else. But that's what I do. So at sales conferences, I've done like 12 people flown out to Maui, Hawaii to do a small group of 12 people to hundreds or thousands of people in a convention hall in Vegas. I'm not cheap, but it's that interactive thing. So you saw James' reactions. Imagine having all of your sales team thinking of different customers, thinking of different things that are essential in their business. And then a prediction is opened up, and it's all the things that the people were talking about is that prediction. And yeah, it's not a magic show. It's not a puppet show. It's dealing with parts of your brain that people don't realize they can tap into.
I'm just gonna say John Pullum is the truth, folks, because
The truth.
I know I don't know what I'm very rarely at a loss for words, and I picked something completely out of left field there, and yeah, that was not staged, that was not set up. I didn't know. I just wanted to do the taco trick or the taco experiment, and that worked, and you got me again on that.
But wait, there's more. Always over deliver.
There's always more.
Over deliver.
Yeah, that you got me on that one, brother. I will. Look, I am extending the invite right now live publicly. I want to have you back to have this additional conversation.
Thank you so much.
Both about the aspect of being a mentalist and mentalism, how you tap into those types of resources within individuals, and then also about this content creation journey, because you were dropping some serious knowledge there that I think folks resonate with. And the conversation was great, right? We were getting some different questions from even folks that we interact with on a regular basis, and just to have the dialogue back and forth, your perspective, my perspective, their perspective. Let's continue to do that. I'll reach out.
Can I give one last tip?
Yeah,
if you have problems with your glasses glaring, pop out the lenses.
This fool, oh my!
Pop out the lenses.
I'm done with you now. Pullum.
Get ready to point at the screen, James. Go to a full screen and point at this.
I'm done with you now. This whole time you didn't. Wait a minute. This whole time you didn't have lenses in your frames?
No. I used to, when I was doing. I'm sorry, I'm going off again. But I would take them off for when I was doing the other show. I'd read the comments and then put them back on, and then read the comments. And people are like,
Dude.
he's doing that a lot. So I went to Costco and I'm like, pop the lenses out for me. They don't know. All my thumbnails, there's no glare. There's no glare. I have no hair. There's no glare. There's no glare. There's only glare there. Pop out the lenses as long as you can see. Because this is me. This is not me. This is not all my promo without my glasses. So this is me. And I don't want the glare. I can see. I can see the lens. That's all you need to see. So yeah, pop out. Go to Costco.
In all due respect, Pullum, I'm done with you.
Good. Bye.
Be good.